Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. I know it's been a while. I've been occupied with other things during the last couple of months, especially with my new started journey within music. And if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. You absolutely don't have to, but if you want to, you can check that out. I'll leave the link to the Spotify in the description. But now we're back on the YouTube channel, and I'm gonna start posting more content again. I'm eager to get back to it. So what I thought I would do today is go through an entire workout. We're gonna do some warm-up, we're gonna do some ball work, we're gonna do some strength work, some stretching, and even some bonus work towards the end. I will show you variations if you don't have the equipment that I use, so that everyone that watches this video is gonna be able to follow along one way or another. And this is the place where I grew up, and I didn't used to have a lot of equipment. I used to pass the ball towards the wall on my house, that I'll do today as well. Without further ado, let's just head into the session. Welcome back to the channel once again, and let's get into it. Let's go. And also, before we dive into the workout, I will track the entire workout on the Whoop app. I've been using Whoop for I think 3 years at this point. Started in 2021, and I absolutely still love it. I have a few videos on the Whoop if you want to check that out as well, but I will track the workout in the Whoop app to make sure I hit my strength targets and everything around that. So let's go. So what I first like to do is go for some dynamic movements, some jog in a very slow tempo, but then I do the same exercises again more or less, but I erase the tempo slightly to get ready for the session. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so that's about it for the jog and the dynamic movements. Now we're gonna head into some foam rolling. And if you don't have a foam roller, there's no problem. You can use the ball instead and more or less get the same work done. So let's head into that. So what is the reason that we actually foam roll? Well, it's to loosen up the muscle tissues, primarily within our legs. As we're footballers, we don't use our upper body a lot. I foam roll the upper back, that's about it for the upper body. You can use it for warm-up purposes, you can use it for cool down or just on a recovery day. Foam rolling is really a great way to loosen up the tissue and make you more mobile and flexible and to feel better overall. So that's why I like to incorporate it before my sessions, mostly. I sometimes do it after sessions, but I primarily like to do it before my sessions, both my individual and my team trainings, and I also do it on recovery days sometimes. And as I said, if you don't have a foam roller, that's fine. You can use the football, you can roll your glutes, works well. I can definitely feel this as well. You can go for your hamstrings. It's a bit of a balancing act, but you can definitely use this as well. Calves works wonders, almost even better on the calf sometimes with the ball. So it's about using what you have. As I always say in my videos, we're all at different stages within our careers, and it's about using what we have at this moment in time to make progress forward. So that's it for the warm-up, just some jog dynamic movements and some foam rolling. If you're new to foam rolling and you really don't know what to do, I have a 10-minute video where you can just follow along and see what I do. I use that for warm-up purposes and cool down purposes as well. So if you want, you can check that out to make things simpler for you. But now we're gonna head into the main portion of the session, which is gonna include some ball work and some strength work. And for the ball work, I'm thinking maybe 3-4 exercises, but the majority of the focus is not placed upon sets and reps and time and stuff like that. In today's session, I'm really just gonna focus on getting into flow. I'm not gonna be overly mindful of time and sets and reps and stuff like that. So yeah, let's head into the first exercise. Se revela, si le gusta no se despega, lo que dice papi coopera. Gata fiera, pantera, cuando se revela, si le gusta no se despega, lo que dice papi coopera. Tiro piedra donde cristal, ese flow te lo juro es magical. Digo wow, demasiado de criminal, si me deja yo la voy hasta preñar. Que me quiere con ella llevar, que la disco se hizo para revolcarse. Para ella todo esto es normal, tan grande que parece irreal. Tócala, 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 tócala. Papi coopera. Okay, so can you even see me? Oh Jesus. So that's about it for the first exercise, and I can definitely tell you get your heart rate up because it's very intense and you get into this flow state. I'm just trying to, it's very bouncy and you don't always have the best surface, to train on, but you have to make do with what you have. I always say that. I started off just, trying to kill the ball, play it pretty hard against the wall, and then just control the ball and then quickly get the next pass off. So really, nail that first touchdown. And then I didn't have a cone, so I just took my shoe. You can take whatever you have, a rock or a water bottle or whatever you have, and then just go for, a directional first touch. So I played against the wall, and then I try to take it to the side, one of the sides of the shoe, play it against the wall, get it back, take it to the other side, and try to play on 2 touch. And if it doesn't work out, I play on 3, but try to play with 2 touch and really try to nail that first touchdowns like that. I can play it on the second one, but it isn't always possible. So, but that's it for the first exercise. Can really feel the sweat start to drip down my face. It's very hot as well today. But we're gonna head into the second one, and for this one, all you need is a ball. So I'm gonna head down there because I need a bit of more space. So yeah, see you there. Okay, so now we're down here, and here I used to do a lot of sessions as a kid. I'll add in some footage of me practicing some freestyle tricks right at this patch of grass, but I will focus on some ball control here, some juggling, and first touch, taking the ball down from the air. I used to do a lot of that down here, so that's what's next. Okay, so for this one, you can go for however long you want to, and as I said, it's not about time or sets or reps. Just keep going, get into a good flow. I started off with kicking the ball up and then controlling it on the ground, taking it to a side, doing that with both feet, kicking it up with both feet, and then I started doing some damn flies, air juggles. So I kick the ball up, and instead of bringing it down on the ground, I try to take it under control with my chest, my thighs, inside of the foot, outside of the foot, top of the foot, both feet. It's more about like becoming friend with the ball. And I used to do this all the time as a kid. All the time I was here kicking the ball up, bringing it down, kicking the ball up, bringing it down, juggling, just running around with the ball, passing it against stuff that was just laying around. And I think you gain so much from that when you don't structure everything up into minute detail all the time. And I think a lot of young players get caught up in that. It has to be this many sets and this many reps, and otherwise you won't improve. But it's more about getting into a flow and making this your best friend, because that's what the very best players do. They don't think about what they do with the ball because it's second nature, because they've done all of this. They have they become friends with the ball over time, and they don't have to think when they're playing. They're not focused on their technique of the ball, you know, they're focused on what their decision should be. They're looking around and trying to get a gauge of where their teammates are at, and they don't focus on, you know, how to control a ball, because it's so ingrained into their, you know, into their brain and into their style of play. So for this final exercise, or I don't really know if you can call it exercise, is just spontaneous dribbling, spontaneous ball work. And it's a lot of what we've been doing already, but I'm just gonna be, you know, using the space that I have. And if it's small, if it's big, if it's just inside your house, I used to dribble around inside my house all the time, and I can promise you it's not big, it's very small. Work with whatever you have at the moment, and damn flies, I need to get moving again. Okay, third exercise, let's go. You know, this, you can definitely say that this is cardio as well. And I think the important thing when you go into, if you want to call this an exercise, we can call it the free flow football exercise, the FFF, free flow football. I think that is so important when, you know, training in whatever field of life really, but especially in football, that you get into a flow, get into this flow state, and that you do that with 100% of your ability. Because as you can hear, I'm out of breath because I could have half-assed this, and it wouldn't have nearly become the same exercise as it is. Because when I pick up the tempo, I challenge my first touch, I challenge my dribbling, I challenge even my heart rate now. So really try to do these at 100% of your max ability if that's what you want to go for. Because yeah, that's what's going to bring you the results in the end. And of course, I have a bunch of training sessions on the channel where I do more structured work, but this is more, you know, free flowing, because I don't have the same opportunities here that I have when, for instance, when I'm on one of those great fields that you guys always comment on. When I have a full 11-a-side pitch all to myself with goals, with turf, excellent conditions, you know, then I can really more structure it up. And here it's more about, you know, working with what I have. I have a bouncy surface, I have a pretty large surface, but there's things around that I have to, you know, evade, and it kind of makes it all the more fun. I think that's really what brought me joy when I was a kid, you know, working with what I had. But that's it for the football exercises, or I don't know if you want to call them exercises, call them whatever you want, but that's it for the football related stuff. Now we're gonna head into some strength work, and I'm gonna work with some weights, but you don't have to do that. You can work with body weight as well, doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you challenge yourself. So if it's not heavy, try to go for a few more reps. Once again, it's always about working with what you have. I have weights now, I will use them, but you can do without weights as well. I can show you a few of those variants as well to make it more difficult for you. Let's head into that, and then for some cool down and some stretching. So for the first exercise, we're just gonna start off with some basic squats. And how you do a squat, if you're not familiar, you put your feet about shoulder width apart, you go down until your knees are like 90 degrees, or you can go all the way down, push yourself up, and then you go for a few reps of those. I'm gonna use this kettlebell, 28 kilos, just to get some extra resistance in there. But you can do without, no problems. Just go for a few more reps until you feel tired. Okay, so I went for 8 squats with the kettlebell. Now, I'm gonna head into some lunges. You can do those, once again, without any equipment. You can place your hands on your hips, go forward, one leg, go back. And really try to put all your weight into the leg that's working. So I want to put minimal weight into the back leg, so I really work the leg that I'm going forward with. So unfortunately I felt a slight twinge high up in the hamstring when doing the lunges. Probably nothing major, I can walk freely, but I don't want to over exaggerate anything because we start team training on Monday again. Instead I will go for some core exercises and some upper body work, but just 3-4 exercises max, and then some stretching and then some bonus work towards the end. So let's head into that. So that's it for the strength exercises. Gonna do some slight stretching. Gonna show you too much of it. It's pretty boring. If you want a full stretching video, like 10, 15, 20 minute stretching video that you can follow along to, let me know down in the comments and I'll try to make that happen. So for the last part of the session, we're gonna jump into some VR, virtual reality headset. I have made a video on this where I go through exactly what I do. So I'm gonna practice some reaction and, decision making within an app called Be Your Best. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you wanna read more about it, and the link to the video where I talk more about Be Your Best. I know this isn't for everyone, but I really believe it's a tool that can make any player better. Of course, you'll learn the most and you gain the most benefits by playing football itself, but this is an excellent complement to when you are not able to train with your team or teammates. You can practice your decision making without any physical exertion. It's absolutely incredible, so I'm gonna do this for 10-15 minutes and then I'm done for the day. Okay, so VR session done. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. The exercises aren't that advanced, and sometimes that's what you gotta do, just get into a flow of things and work with what you have. I think those are the most important lessons from today's video. Work with what you have and get into a flow state and you'll see a lot of progress, I promise you that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Leave a like on the video if you found it helpful, if you enjoyed it. And other than that, I'll just see you in the next one. Take care and bye.